When the final whistle blew in Qatar, the world witnessed one of the greatest moments in football history. Lionel Messi finally lifted the FIFA World Cup trophy, and millions watched as fireworks lit up the sky over Lusail Stadium. For many fans, it was the perfect ending. But after the celebrations ended and the crowds disappeared, one question remained. What happened to the stadiums that Qatar spent billions of dollars building? To host the 2022 FIFA World Cup, Qatar completely transformed the country. New highways, a modern metro system, luxury hotels, airport expansions, entire neighborhoods, and 8 world-class stadiums rose from the desert. Altogether, the country is estimated to have spent more than $200 billion, making it the most expensive World Cup ever hosted. The centerpiece of it all was Lusail Stadium, an 88,000-seat venue that hosted the unforgettable final between Argentina and France. Qatar planned to convert the stadium into a mixed-use community with apartments, schools, shops, and public spaces. While that vision is still being developed, the stadium is currently used only for occasional football matches and major events. Another iconic venue was Al Bayt Stadium, designed to resemble a traditional Bedouin tent. After the World Cup, thousands of seats were removed, with many intended for donation to countries that need sports infrastructure. Today, the stadium hosts local matches and special events, although many believe it's still far larger than Qatar's domestic football needs. Education City Stadium has had one of the smoothest transitions. Located in Qatar's university district, it was always intended to serve students and the local community after the tournament. Half of its temporary seating was removed, and today it regularly hosts university competitions, community activities, and local football. The story is similar at Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. Built on the site of an older stadium, it returned to serving Al Rayyan Football Club after the World Cup. Its capacity was reduced to around 21,000 seats, making it much more practical for regular league matches. Al Janoub Stadium, designed by world-famous architect Zaha Hadid, also downsized after the tournament. Inspired by the sales of traditional dhow boats, it now serves as the home of Al Wakra SC and continues to host domestic football throughout the season. Unlike most of the other venues, Khalifa International Stadium already had a long history before 2022. Originally opened in 1976, it was renovated for the World Cup and continues to serve as Qatar's national stadium, hosting major sporting events year-round. Then there's Stadium 974, perhaps the tournament's most unique venue. Built from 974 shipping containers and modular steel, it was designed to be completely dismantled after the World Cup. Surprisingly, that hasn't happened. The stadium still stands along Doha's waterfront, and its future remains uncertain as Qatar continues to evaluate possible redevelopment plans. The final venue, Al Thumama Stadium, was inspired by the traditional Ghafiya cap worn across the Arab world. After the tournament, part of the stadium was transformed into a sports medicine center and community facilities, while the remaining venue continues hosting local football and occasional international matches. Looking at all 8 stadiums together, one thing becomes clear. Qatar never expected them to remain packed every weekend. With a population of under 3 million people, the country simply doesn't need multiple 80,000-seat stadiums. That's why many venues were intentionally designed to shrink, change purpose, or adapt to future needs. But this raises an even bigger question. Why spend more than $200 billion on a single tournament? For Qatar, the World Cup was never just about football. It was an opportunity to introduce itself to the world, strengthen its global reputation, attract tourism and investment, and accelerate its shift beyond natural gas through economic diversification. Critics describe the strategy as sports washing, arguing that hosting major sporting events helps improve a country's international image while drawing attention away from human rights concerns and labor issues. Qatar faced significant criticism before and during the tournament, especially over migrant worker conditions. Even so, the World Cup placed Qatar at the center of global attention. Tourism increased. Qatar Airways expanded its international profile. The Doha Metro continues serving attracting residents and visitors, and the country now regularly hosts Formula One races, international football tournaments, and major business events. Whether the World Cup was financially profitable is still widely debated. Recovering more than $200 billion through ticket sales and tourism alone is virtually impossible. But if the real objective was global recognition, modern infrastructure, and a stronger position on the world stage, Qatar may have achieved exactly what it set out to do. Years after the final match, people are still talking about Qatar 2022. And perhaps that's the legacy Qatar wanted all along, not simply to host a World Cup, but to make sure the world would never forget it.